Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're all having a good day so far. My name is Ben, and I am on a journey towards Mario Kart World. And to get there, I'm playing every single track in every single Mario Kart game. Last time, I got started on Mario Kart 7, played through all of the Nitro tracks, and had a pretty great time. There were a lot of real surprise hits on that one that I'd forgotten about. I had an absolute blast. Today, it is time to see if the retro tracks of Mario Kart 7 stand up with the Nitro tracks. Now, the retro tracks in the two previous games were honestly kind of underwhelming. They were definitely the least interesting parts of both games. DS just had some really weird choices. There was a lot of circuits, and a lot of the GameCube tracks in particular felt like real big downgrades in comparison to how they felt on their original games. We fared a little bit better. The choices were definitely more interesting. There were still some odd choices, but we were starting to see some fan favourites and more interesting tracks there. And none of them really felt like downgrades. They all felt like improvements, not massive ones. They were just better because they were in a better controlling game. Let's find out how Mario Kart 7 fares. Of course, we're going on to 150cc. We are going to be playing as Wiggler today because, spoiler alert, one of the tracks has a Wiggler on it, and I thought that'd be pretty funny. Plus, I just kind of like Wiggler as a character. He's cute. I like that he's here. Anyway, getting started with the Shell Cup. We are starting with Luigi Raceway from Mario Kart 64. A track that I liked before. I thought it was a perfectly serviceable opening track. Let's see how it's been translated. Okay, well, first of all, the music is fantastic, but you didn't need me to tell you that because Mario Kart 64 has a fantastic soundtrack to begin with. It's one of the few things about that game I don't have a complaint with. And Mario Kart 7 soundtrack is also fantastic, so of course they have a really good remix here. Okay, slowly making my way up towards first. One thing I've found about Mario Kart 7 so far is I feel like it takes me a while to get into first. The boost at the start really doesn't do much for me, but then when I get there, I tend to stay there for a little while. Whereas with something like, say, Mario Kart 8, I feel like I get to first really quickly. Unless I get caught in the chaos. That said, I'm not doing so hot here. To tell you guys the truth, this is actually my second attempt recording these retro tracks. I got through all of them, and I was doing really well. I had some really great runs. I got gold on every single cup. And I didn't really flub that many sentences either. Just delivery-wise, the video was going really well. And then it turned out that I fucked up the recording, and none of it was usable, so I'm doing it all over again, so if I feel a little bit more irritable today than I usually would be, that is why. I will try and stay my usual chipper, happy, slightly sarcastic self though, because if anyone actually does watch this for a reason, that is the reason why they are watching, I would hope. Or maybe they just think I really suck at Mario Kart and they want to laugh at me, which that's a very valid reason, to be fair. Come on. Come on, Daisy. Drive into that. Okay, I'm just going to have to, like, boost and get the win here. No! Oh, that frickin' banana. Okay, I'll take second place. Luigi Raceway. Yeah, I think it's a solid translation. Nothing's really changed. I like it still. I like it a little bit more than the original, just because the controls of Mario Kart 7 are better. Don't really have too much else to say besides that. Fairly solid track. Okay, so with the 3D remakes of already 3D tracks, that was a bit of a redundant sentence, I feel like it's pretty easy to tell how I feel about them, because they're either an improvement or they're not. It's pretty simple. But with these 2D tracks, sometimes a track that doesn't change at all, that really stands out in its original game, just fails to stand out in a new game because it's just flat. And while some of these tracks have really, really good layouts, being flat can be a bit of a detriment. So how will Bowser's Castle 1 from Mario Kart Super Circuit fare? Well, I'll tell you. Visually, pretty well. Musically, pretty well. I like being able to trick here. But the layout here is... it's not the most interesting. I liked it originally. But of the 4 Bowser Castle tracks in Super Circuit, it was definitely my least favourite. And I feel like this got remade in the wrong game. If you remember my Mario Kart DS Retros video, I said that Bowser Castle 2 felt a bit out of place. All of the jumps in that track just felt really unsatisfying. And it would have been better in a game with tricks. Whereas this track has a lot of straightaways that would have really benefited from snaking and how Mario Kart DS controls. They should have made Bowser Castle 1 there, and then made Bowser Castle 2 here. Those two should be swapped over. That said, though, there is stuff to like about this track. I do like the glider ramp that appears on the second and third laps. There is a really risky shortcut you can take with it. I am nowhere near good enough to actually do it. Get out of here, Yoshi. But yeah, you can see that ramp in the lava over there. Actually, I might be able to pull this off. Oh, no, didn't quite make it. Okay, if that costs me the cup, I can live with that. I did want to at least attempt it and show it off. So yeah, I like Bowser Castle 1 before, and I do like it now. It is still a fun layout to drive, even if it's simple. I like what they do with the glider ramp. And just visually, I think they captured the aesthetic really well. It just doesn't really stand out any more than that. I can't say that I love this track. Whereas if this was Bowser Castle 2, with a lot of jump ramps and a glider section as well, I probably would have loved that. Anyway, moving on. Things are going to massively improve because, would you look at that? It's a Mario Kart Wii track that I adore. There's a lot of those, and there's a lot of those in this game. Welcome back to Mushroom Gorge. Okay, I really love this track, so I need to do better than second or third place on it. It's a matter of pride. Okay, Yoshi doing that will definitely help. Okay, so this track really hasn't changed all that much. The only change really is right here, this blue mushroom that you can see. And it's a glider ramp, because Mario Kart 7 loves putting gliders into its tracks, and I mean, why wouldn't it? It's the game that introduced gliding, of course it's going to put it everywhere. And I think it's a fairly solid change. It doesn't really change the track that much, but it makes the gameplay inside the cave a little different than it was. You know, you've got a choice. Do you want to bounce along? Do you want to glide? And I like when Mario Kart gives you choices like that. I wouldn't say it makes the track better, but it doesn't make it worse. It's just different. And that's fine. It does help these remakes to stand out from each other. Oh, I'm going for the mushroom. Nice. Oh, what the hell happened there? What was that? That was a bit of a physics quirk. Oh, now Yoshi's going to overtake me right at the end. It's always the last lap. I mean, I know that's just Mario Kart in general. But even more than the other games, I've found that in all of my practice runs of Mario Kart 7, I have a really good first 2 laps, and then the last lap is just terrible. And just costs me. Oh no, Daisy, get out of here. Okay, so Mushroom Gorge. Yeah, I still adore it. I don't know whether I like it more than the Wii version. because it's a different change, but it's not like a better or worse change. It's quite tricky to decide. For now, I'll say it's just on par. I'll think about whether it goes above or below the Wii version. Anyway, moving on to the fourth and final track of the Shell Cup. It is DS Luigi's Mansion, a track that I loved before. It's a track that I feel has a really nice atmosphere, and it is actually kind of directly based on one of the games, which, as I said with DK Jungle, doesn't really happen very often. Although saying that, this one is kind of Luigi's Mansion in name only. The outside looks like Luigi's Mansion, but then inside there's basically nothing from that game, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked to have seen some of the portrait ghosts, or just some of the regular ghosts, because they have a lot of character. They have some really nice designs, but alas, it was not to be. That said, they do still capture a really nice haunted atmosphere here. And I think the slightly improved visuals of Mario Kart 7 do benefit the track. Let's stay away from you while you have that. And then, of course, it's Mario Kart 7, so we do have a glider ramp. I don't think this one adds or detracts from the track all that much. It's just sort of there. It's a nice extra option to take. Okay, heading into the second lap here. I really need to do well on this track because I want a gold trophy. I got all golds on my original recording, and it would be really typical if in the recording that I actually managed to capture that doesn't happen. Oh, poo. No, that's probably fucked me over. Didn't take that turn correctly at all. Where did you come from? Oh, come on. I didn't get caught by that. That's a load of rubbish. That was some really bad aim there. Get out of the way, Mario. Oh, come on. No, I can't come fifth. I'll take second and just... Oh, shit. Wait, no, that wasn't the final lap. What? I nearly stopped pressing A there. Oh, crap. Don't shove me into the wall, Wario. I don't know if it's just me or if it's just, like, coincidence, but I feel like in Mario Kart 8, I never get shoved as much as I have been getting shoved in all of these videos. I don't know if it's something that they toned down in Mario Kart 8, but the NPCs do feel a lot more tame in that game compared to this one, and just compared to all of the previous ones. Oh, poo, I missed an item. Okay, Daisy's doing really badly, that's what I need. She was the only one with points above me, if I remember correctly. Okay, so I feel like I still do love Luigi's Mansion. I think I like it slightly more than the DS version. The visuals are a nice improvement. The glider ramp, while it doesn't add much, it does add a little bit. So it's pretty much on the same level, just slightly higher. Right, my 5th gold trophy in Mario Kart 7. I successfully got all 4 golds in a video last time. I'd like to get all golds in the game, please. It's going to be a lot harder to make it happen with Mario Kart 8, because there's like, what, 20 million cups there. Right, moving on to the Banana Cup then. And it looks like we're off to a pretty good start with Koopa Troopa Beach. Now, this is a track that I said I liked before, but I almost feel like I've been a little bit too harsh on it. I've been thinking about it afterwards, and I'm like, maybe I should have said that I loved it, because it's an iconic track for a reason. And I did really enjoy it. That said, sometimes you have to give the remake room to grow, because I do feel that this is a really just solid remake that improves the track overall. Okay, give me a mushroom. Okay, no mushroom. Because, yeah, in Mario Kart 7, we can go underwater. And this is one of the few times where I feel like that addition doesn't really harm the track. It's nice to be able to take, like, a little extra shortcut like that, even if you don't hit the main shortcut. Right, I'm going to hang on to this mushroom. I'm going to use it and actually take the shortcut. Never mind. I was about to say, I messed that up on the main video, on the first attempt of this video, sorry. I tried to take the shortcut, and I failed. And this time I get a second attempt, but no, I don't. Here we go. There we go, nice. So it's easier to take in this version, which some people might say is a downgrade, but I like how you've got to jump for it. I like the integration of the glider to it. All in all, yeah, it's still a pretty good shortcut. No, Luigi, you... Luigi, you weren't meant to crash into that green shell. Okay, let's do it a second time. Nice. Okay, yeah, I think it's time to redeem myself. I love this version of Koopa Troopa Beach. I think all of the improvements are really good ones. It was already a really solid track, and now it's a better track. Okay, what do we have next? Mario Circuit 2 from Super Mario Kart. I believe this was my favourite track in Super Mario Kart. It had a really nice layout to drive, the Mario Circuit theme is just nice anyway, and it had that really cool jump in the middle. So let's see if this track can get over the pitfalls that some of the other SNES remakes have fallen into. And already we can see that this track is not as horrifically ugly as the Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart Wii versions of Mario Circuit. They've actually picked some nice colours here. They put a couple of ramps into the off-road as well for shortcuts, which is really nice. It would be great if I get the chance to show those off, but it might not necessarily happen. Nice! Sniped with the banana there. Okay, here we go. I really like what they did with the jump here. They've made it a glider ramp, and they allow you to just glide over this corner if you know what you're doing, which is a really cool shortcut. That's the kind of thing that these flat remakes need. Is just interesting shortcuts and ways to interact with the course that were just simply impossible when the game was 2D. Okay, let's go for it again. It's not quite as difficult to hit as the Bowser Castle 1 skip, which is why I do it more often. I do feel like maybe this track should have been the Mushroom Cup track, but I understand why they wanted to separate it from Luigi Raceway. Because two circuit tracks, they would be very similar. Oh, you've got a blue shell. That's no good. How about you just don't use that? Okay, didn't matter anyway. Nice. Yeah, I think I still love Mario Circuit 2. I think this is a really solid remake. Yeah, it's still a bit flat. It would be nice to have some elevation. But they updated the bridge jump really, really well with that glider. They put a lot of really cool shortcuts in. They actually made a SNES remake look nice visually, which is rare. Most of the remakes previously didn't manage that, so Mario Kart 7, so far, your retros, you're doing really well with them. Where are we going from here? Well, would you look at that? It's another fan favorite Mario Kart Wii track that I adore. Just ignore what's going on with the Miis. I think that's because I'm emulating, so I don't technically have any Mii data for it to pull. So it's a little weird. Okay, so right off the bat, we can see what's going to be a bit of a trend with some of these Wii tracks is outside of Mushroom Gorge, I do feel like the rest of them are a little bit compromised. And that's not because of any like technical reasons like with Mario Kart DS. It all really comes down to just odd creative choices. I understand that they wanted to make the conveyor belts a little bit easier to read, but I feel like it does harm the aesthetic a bit in the way that they've done it. It's a very minor nitpick, but it is still a downside over the Wii version nonetheless. A change that I do like, though, is this glider ramp up here. When a track just had a really big jump like this before, it makes a lot of sense to take it and make it a glider section. Now, another downgrade is they've got rid of one of the cars. It makes that last boost basically, like, you might as well just always go for it. There is no risk to it anymore, which is a real downgrade. Not quite as bad as a certain other remake of this track, but it definitely feels a little bit worse than it did on the Wii, which is a shame. At least the visuals and the music are still intact here, though. Like, it is still, at its core, Coconut Mall. There are some slight changes that compromise it, but it doesn't lose itself. Okay, let's go for all three of them, like I said that you should. And let's move into this final lap. Okay, the physics of those do feel a little bit weird in this version, but that might just be a skill issue more than anything. Well, I feel like you just go really high when you bounce off them. Okay, nice. I still adore Coconut Mall. Like I said, it has a change that I like and a few that I don't, but the ones that I don't like aren't enough to really drag it down that much. It's technically worse than the Wii version, but there's really not that much in it. It's still Coconut Mall. It's still one of the most iconic Mario Kart tracks of all time, and it's still a lot of fun to race on. Okay, moving on to the final track of the Banana Cup. Speaking of iconic tracks that I adore, Waluigi Pinball returns from Mario Kart DS. This is one of my favourite tracks in the series, and oh, I'm so glad that it got a remake. Okay, messed that up. Okay, one thing I do find a little bit weird with some of these retro remakes is that they made these cannon sections into glider sections. And that's not an issue, it just feels a little bit pointless. Because gameplay-wise, they're basically exactly the same. Like, you can technically angle the cart around a little bit, but it doesn't really do anything. And it makes me wonder why I did that. Was it, like, purely for visual consistency? Okay, this is going a lot worse than my failed recording run went. I had a really perfect drive of Waluigi Pinball there. It's really annoying that the worst version of my gameplay is the version that you guys actually get to see. Because I guarantee that you guys just do not believe that I had such a good run. You were like, yeah, whatever, Ben. Show us the proof. There isn't any, is there? No. Alright, let's try and pull this back a little bit. Okay, one thing I have noticed, again, about all these older Mario Kart games in comparison to 8, is the item boxes take a lot longer to respawn. There's been a lot more moments where I feel like I've just missed out on getting an item. Whereas that doesn't really happen to me in Mario Kart 8 that much. Get out of here, Toad. Right, I need to catch up to Shy Guy. Okay, he got hit by a pinball. Nice. I love when that happens. I love when it happens to other people, not to me. Right, I want to get rid of this Tanuki tail before I get to the next set of item boxes. I can see why this item didn't come back. It has its uses, but it's not very good. And you just get stuck with it for too long. Okay, not quite sure what happened to my drift there. It just kind of seemed to stop. Oh, saw that coming. I just knew that was going to happen. I wasn't able to move in time. Oh, Shy Guy, you better not take this. Oh, come on! How did none of those hit him? That's annoying. No! Oh, that better not cost me. But yeah, I still love Waluigi Pinball. It's not really changed, honestly. It's the same track. There are very few differences, and that's a good thing. I think I adore it ever so slightly more than the DS version just because I prefer how Mario Kart 7 controls these days. But the DS version is still a fantastic track. So again, they're essentially equal. That does seem to be happening a lot with these retro tracks. Especially now that we've moved past the Mario Kart DS retros. Anyway, that is 6 out of 8 gold trophies. We are on our way to a full gold. And that's what I want to do. I want a full gold run of Mario Kart 7 for these videos. Because I technically already achieved it, and I need it to be seen. I need people to see it. My water tastes really weird. So I put it in the... It's been in the fridge all day, but my leftover dinners from last night is in the fridge too, and that was like a seafood curry. So now my water, it just tastes like seafood. And I mean, I like seafood, but I don't want to drink it. Anyway, we're at the halfway stage, moving on to the Leaf Cup. The Banana Cup was the first Retro Cup to get 2 tracks that I adore. Can Mario Kart 7 keep that up? And can it reach 3? Can it reach 3 adores? Mario Kart Wii managed it with its Nitro Cups. And I think, did one of the ones? Yeah, I think one of the cups here got 3 as well. One of the Nitro ones. I can't exactly remember. Okay, anyway, we are starting off with Kalamari Desert from Mario Kart 64, an iconic track. Got a break for the train. Now, I've seen a lot of people saying that you don't really need to worry about the train in this version, which is a disappointment, but as the track has clearly proven, yeah, you do, you still do. Maybe not as much, but it's still a thing that happens. I do like that there's a few ramps scattered around the track now as well, just to make things a little bit more interesting. One downside to this version, though, that I do have to address, is that you can't go on the tracks anymore and follow them all the way round. I forgot to do that anyway when I played Mario Kart 64, so to me, it doesn't really matter that much. But I can see why massive fans of Mario Kart 64 might be really disappointed with that, because it's just a cool out-of-bounds area that was taken away. Okay, if I get a mushroom, I will be able to take one of these glider ramps, but there's no guarantee that I'm actually going to get one. Oh my god, performance is taking a hit here. What is going on? I think I know what is going on, actually. Let me just Let me just do that. There we go. Okay, that should help. If I just turn the OBS preview off. I had it on because it being off was part of why I messed up the recording yesterday, so I was trying to avoid that. But I guess Kalamari Desert does not like that. Right, let's get rid of this leaf before I hit the item box, please. Never mind. Of course. Okay, yeah, things are a lot smoother now that I've turned the preview off. Should have probably just had that off from the start. Okay, originally I did love Kalamari Desert, and I think that holds true here. This version has a few slightly more interesting things about it, like all the ramps, the glider ramps, that I would say make driving it slightly better than the N64 version. It is a shame that it has lost the ability to drive along the railway and go through the tunnel and stuff, but seeing as I never did that in the first place, I don't think that I personally can really dock it points for that, but I would completely understand why someone would be really, really disappointed with that. Okay, on to DK Pass from Mario Kart DS. Another track that I originally loved. Let's see how this version holds up. Now, one thing that I really do like about the visuals in this track is it starts off really snowy and hard to see, and then as the race goes on, it gets clearer and clearer. It's a really nice little detail that they didn't have to add, but they did. And I love when they do little touches like that. It just makes the tracks feel a lot more alive. Speaking of alive, my driving skills are apparently dead. What hit me? I threw a red shell and I got hit. What? Okay, just give me the start. Right, I do like the addition of all the little ramps on this part. Makes this part a little bit more interesting to drive down. And of course, we have a big jump at the end that is now a glider ramp. Again, I feel like the glider really fits these moments, so that is a nice addition. Yeah, get out of my way. I've got a bullet bill. What are you going to do about it? Come on, Ben. Get your act together. Drive well. Don't let Shy Guy beat you. Oh my god. You know, sometimes you're just drifting and you see that something's going to hit you. And it's like you just know that you can't veer out of the way in time. It's just not going to happen no matter how hard you try. And so you just end up not trying. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Really? A blooper? That does nothing for me. God, that came through really late. What the hell? And as you can see, the skies are now clear. How lovely. Oh my god. Okay, that corner feels a lot harder to take in this version. I don't remember slipping off so much on the DS version. Okay, hopefully that doesn't cost me. Oh my god, that was close. Okay, I'm going to hang on to these in case someone overtakes me. Okay, got rid of the red shell. Nice. Yeah, I think I still love DK Pass, and The changes here are enough to make me like it slightly more than the DS version. I like the addition of the glider ramp at the end. I like what they've done with the visuals, with the sky clearing as you go around the course. But it doesn't take the track up that much higher than the original already was. Like, they're nice little changes, but they're not massive. Okay, on to Daisy Cruiser from Mario Kart Double Dash. Another track that I loved originally. Mario Kart 7 loves its fan-favourite retros, doesn't it? This is a really good selection of retros. No matter what you may think about the quality of some of the remakes, just the choices they've made here are all top tier. Now, one change I don't like is being able to just drive through the pool like this. The point of the pool was for it to be an obstacle that you had to avoid. And it made the start of the track a little bit more interesting, but now you can just go in a straight line through the water, and I feel like that does hurt the track a little bit. However, this section of water is a really nice improvement. The basement of the ship wasn't really that visually interesting before, and so making it into an aquarium is a really, really nice change. It helps it to stand out a bit more, I feel. And also going down there just feels a lot less clunky than it did in Double Dash. Like in Double Dash, you just collide off all the walls and it felt really weird, but because you're a little bit more floaty now, you kind of come down in a more controlled way. Oh my god, gotta time that well. Right, I'm gonna try and take the... never mind. I do find a few of the turns here feel a little bit tight for Mario Kart 7's controls. That could just be the handling of Wiggler, though. And at the end of the day, if I'm struggling to take a turn, that's a skill issue, really. Oh, come on, get out of here, Bullet Bill. Okay, I'm going down for the third time. I guess it's unavoidable. That said, I do think it's faster, so why wouldn't I go down? You've always got to go down, guys. That's just a life lesson. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Oh, come on! Shy Guy! Why would you do that to me? You helped Yoshi. Yeah, I still love Daisy Cruiser. It has a change that I like and a change that I don't. And I feel like they kind of balance out. I feel like I'm going to give the slight edge to this version because I feel like the pool is less of a loss than the aquarium is a gain, if that makes sense. Anyway, on to Maple Treeway from Mario Kart Wii. A track that I, of course, absolutely adored. It's a fan favourite. It's one of my favourite tracks in the entire series. So, of course, I'm happy to see it here. And right away, they've already captured the aesthetic really well. The visuals translate pretty much one-to-one. It looks really nice here. And the music, again, is, yeah, it's exactly as it should be. Oh my god, what the hell happened there? Again, we have another cannon section that got made into a glider section that feels a little weird, but it doesn't really affect anything. Right, I'm going to have to wait for this Wiggler to move his ass. There we go. Now, one thing that is a slight downgrade is the removal of the half pipe here. It used to feel really good to take in the original, but Mario Kart 7 just simply doesn't have half pipes, so I understand why it's gone, but it's still a little bit of a shame. What is a massive downgrade, though, is this glider section. It is the most unnecessary glider section in all of these retros. Oh, I can take the shortcut. Nice. But yeah, like, I really loved the rope bridge in the original. It was really fun to just trick all the way down it. And then you had to kind of line yourself up on it right to be able to take the booster panels on the sides. But here you can just kind of glide into them. It's a lot less interesting. It's a lot less tricky. And the track really does lose something because of that. Now, at the end of the day, that is still a relatively minor change. It's one part of the track. The rest of the track is still pretty much intact. But that does still make it feel like a downgrade in my eyes. Even if only a slight one. Okay, can't go for the shortcut this time, that's a shame. Oh my god. I nearly went off that corner there. I never used to struggle with that turn as a kid, but just recently, here and in Mario Kart 8, I've been really struggling with it, and I have no idea why. Okay, get out of the way, Yoshi. Oh, don't blue shell me now. Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna make it. Yeah, so I still adore Maple Treeway. It's still a phenomenal track, but it's definitely a slight downgrade compared to the Wii version. They took out a set piece that I really liked, which is a big shame. The half pipe I'm not as hung up about. It would have been nice to have it here, but I can live without it. But losing the rope bridge is a real loss. What isn't a real loss, though, is that I have my 7th gold cup in Mario Kart 7. I'm 7 for 7. Can I make it 8? I really, really hope so. Let's drink some more of my fish water. See, it tastes weird, but I can't say that I dislike it. And I am also thirsty, so I do need to drink it. Anyway, let's make a move on. Let's move on to the Lightning Cup. The final cup in Mario Kart 7. And the final non-HD Mario Kart Cup, which is pretty cool. Okay, we are starting with yet another Mario Kart Wii track that is a fan favourite that I adore. They really knew what they were doing when they picked these Mario Kart Wii tracks, didn't they? Koopa Cape, again, is another contender for my favourite track in this series. I love the visuals. I love the music. It's fun to drive on. And the music and visuals, at least, have been carried over pretty perfectly. Like, it's Koopa Cape from the Wii. It looks like it should. It sounds like it should. And that's nice to see. We do lose the half pipe here, but I never really took this one anyway, so it's no real loss to me. The river section here is pretty much entirely intact, which is nice to see. However, of all of these Wii tracks that got remade here, this is the one that feels the most compromised. Because look what they did with the half-pipe. Now, I get it. Mario Kart 7 introduced underwater driving. This track had a massive underwater section in the tube. Of course they're going to make you drive through the water. And visually, I think it looks amazing. But the pipe was fun to go through, not just because it looked pretty, but because it had that water stream that you needed to try and stay in to go fast. And then it had, like, electric lasers that you had to avoid. There was engaging gameplay there. But that's all just gone. And now it's just a boring, empty pipe, and that really is a shame to see. And unlike with the rope bridge in Maple Treeway, this isn't just like one tiny part of the track that has been downgraded. This is half of the track, or maybe a third of the track, that has just been completely butchered. And that is really disappointing. At the very least, hitting the edges of the pipe doesn't feel too bad. There's a reason why I'm bringing that up. We'll get to that in the next game. Right, I'm going to drop that. I'm going to cut across this grass here. Oh, balls. No, Koopa. You're not stealing this from me at the last second. I refuse to allow it. Okay, into the disappointing pipe one last time. I keep somehow managing to hop over the trick things, which is really annoying. No, Koopa, screw off. Okay, I missed him, but he didn't catch up anyway. So yeah, I did adore Koopa Cape before, but I feel like they really, really sacrificed the integrity of this track by changing the pipe like that. I think I still love it, because a lot of Koopa Cape is still here, but I can't say that I adore it anymore. This track is just too big of a downgrade for that. And that's really a shame to see. And I think that that is going to kill this game's chances of getting a Retro Cup where I adore 3 of the tracks. That said though, here is Dino Dino Jungle from Mario Kart Double Dash, a track that I also adored originally. I really like dinosaurs. I really like this one. It's fun to drive around. Let's see how it holds up. Hopefully better than Koopa Cape did. Now, I can already tell you, I like... Oh, never mind, I messed it up. What I was trying to show you was that I like that you can trick off the logs now. The logs always kind of felt a little bit awkward and in the way, whereas now they complement the track quite nicely. They're quite satisfying to trick off when you actually do it correctly, which I didn't manage to. I was going to hit Dry Bones, not Dry Bones there, Shy Guy there, but the game said no. Now, I would like to show off the shortcut here if I can, because they've made it into a glider. And I think that's a nice improvement there. This second glider section feels a little unnecessary, but it also doesn't really take anything away, so I do like it. It is quite fun just gliding past the dinosaur's head. Get out of here, Yoshi. There we go, he did it that time. Okay, I'm going for the shortcut again. I never took it in Double Dash because I did not feel good enough at the game to do so I have to make up for lost time. Really? You hit the banana? Are you kidding me? They placed that banana perfectly onto your path. Nah, that's a load of rubbish. Hey, nice! Screw you, Donkey Kong. Okay, right, I'm going to slip past you two. Okay, got to be very careful here. Oh, that was close. Okay, I don't think I'm going to get a chance to show off this shortcut, unfortunately. And it's too big of an off-road section for me to feel comfortable driving over it. I don't think that would actually gain me that much speed. Bye, Koopa. I saw you go off the edge there. Okay, I still adore Dino Dino Jungle. I think all of the changes here, they're all improvements. They make the track feel nicer to play. I adore it, and I like it more than I liked its GameCube version. You've slightly redeemed yourself for Koopa Cape here. Not quite, but slightly. Okay, and here we go. Another track that I originally adored. Airship Fortress from Mario Kart DS. My favourite track from my nostalgic childhood Mario Kart. If you mess this one up, I will never forgive you, Mario Kart 7. Thankfully, spoiler alert, I don't think that you do. I think you do a pretty solid job with this one. Shy Guy, you got hit by that. Don't you bullshit me, I saw you. Okay, nice. Doing pretty well so far. Oh. I really hate the fireball. I wish they never introduced that bloody thing. It feels a lot more effective here than it does in Mario Kart 8. Especially when you're on the receiving end of it. Hey, you tried to get too close behind me, didn't you? Yeah, serves you right. Personal space is a thing. Okay, I'm going to need to ditch some items here because I need a red shell if I'm going to pull this back. Okay, this tower section feels a lot nicer to drive in Mario Kart 7 than it does in DS. As a kid, I never really had any problems, but when I was playing DS recently, I really struggled to drift down that. But here, no such problems. Oh, I missed him, but I overtook him anyway. That's fine. And I got hit by my own shell, god damn it. Oh, the hubris. It always gets to you in Mario Kart, and then it makes you pay for it. If you celebrate too much when you're in first, the game will humiliate you. Okay. Good job, Mario Kart 7. That was a solid remake of Airship Fortress. It's basically unchanged, so I still adore it. Mario Kart 7 is a better controlling game than Mario Kart DS, so I like it slightly more. Fair play, Mario Kart 7. I'm glad you didn't butcher this one like you did with Koopa Cape. I think maybe I can forgive you for Koopa Cape for doing this one justice, but maybe not. We'll see. Let's move on to the final retro track of Mario Kart 7. Our first retro Rainbow Road, SNES Rainbow Road, from Super Mario Kart, which I liked originally. I thought it was a nice challenge in that game, but it wasn't my favourite track because the layout was actually fairly simple compared to some of the other tracks in that game, and a lot of the difficulty I felt like came from just the thwomps being really annoying. I did that on purpose so that I could challenge myself on Rainbow Road. Yeah, no one's going to believe that, are they? No, of course they're not going to believe that, because that's the biggest load of bullshit anyone has ever heard. Now, visually, I think they did a quite nice job with this. It looks... yeah, it looks nice here. The music is nice. I like what they did with the thwomps. The texture they've used on them is quite visually pleasing. I like all the ramps that they've added over the place. It makes the track just feel like more fun to go around. There's more stuff to do as you go around. And I like that you can trick off the ripples that the thwomps create. Again, it just makes it a little bit more interesting to drive around. I do wish that they had played with the verticality of this track a little bit more. Because Rainbow Roads are known for crazy turns, crazy jumps, loop-de-loops, stuff like that. And obviously this track didn't have that originally because it was on a 2D game. But that doesn't mean that a remake can't add that, and it just kind of didn't, which is a shame. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to get into first here. Maybe. Oh, maybe, actually, yeah. Nice. As soon as I start doubting myself, good things start happening. I should do that more often. God damn it. God damn it. No. No. Oh, the game was like, you thought? I'll take second place. I think I still get the gold. So yeah, I like this remake of SNES Rainbow Road, but it doesn't get elevated into being a love for me. It has a few nice changes, but not enough. It doesn't have anything like the glider ramp in Mario Circuit 2. I really wish they played with the verticality a little bit more here. Oh well, I get why they didn't. I get, like, for the first Retro Rainbow Road, them wanting to preserve the purity of the original, but I just don't think that that was the best option for them to take. Anyway, how does it compare to the original? I think I like it more than the original just because I prefer playing this game. I like being able to play the track without getting just brutalized by it. Anyway, I am happy to say I have done it again. I managed to get all 4 Retro Cups as a gold. I have achieved all 8 gold cups in Mario Kart 7. Meaning I have golded the entire game, a first for this series. It's about time. It's about time I started actually getting good. Anyway. That was a great selection of retro tracks. Like, a few of them, particularly the Wii tracks, do feel like downgrades. But they don't feel like downgrades because of just technical difficulties. They feel like they just wanted to implement this game's new mechanics, which I get. They just didn't really work out. However, on the whole, I can't really fault the retros in this game. There are a lot of really, really, really great picks. Tons of fan favourites. And they all feel great to drive. Even the ones that are technically downgrades feel fun to drive. And then you have the Nitro tracks on top of that. And you just have a really, really solid collection of tracks here. If we ignore DLCs, honestly, I think this game has the best track roster out of any Mario Kart game. Obviously, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with all of its DLC wins in the end, just because of the sheer amount of tracks, with a lot of the tracks in this game being carried over. But there are also tracks that this game has that one doesn't, like, let's actually try and think of a few. Airship Fortress is a really great one that never got carried over to Mario Kart 8, which is coming to Mario Kart World, but that's beside the point. That can't be the only one I can think of. I'm blanking here. Wario Shipyard, Wario's Galleon, sorry, as it's correctly called here in the UK. Again, that one's also coming to Mario Kart World. That's kind of a weird coincidence. The Bowser's Castle here is pretty fun. That's a pretty fun one that didn't come to Mario Kart 8. The Wuhu Island tracks, they didn't come over, and I love those. I really want to see them remade, maybe in the DLC for Mario Kart World. But yeah, it really is just a shame to see how little Mario Kart 7 is talked about. And I mean, I get it. Mario Kart 8 was a monumental game for the series, and just took everything 7 did and incorporated it into everything that game was also doing. And so I get why just next to that, Mario Kart 7 maybe feels a little bit underwhelming. But it's a really solid entry to this series, and it deserves a lot more love than it gets. And hopefully, with these 2 videos I've done on it, I've been able to spread a little bit of that love and spread some positivity towards the game, and hopefully people will not look back on it in a more positive light, because I don't think people look back on it negatively, they just don't look back on it. So hopefully I make people look back on it. Anyway, next time, I'll be moving on to the current contemporary Mario Kart game, the game that overshadowed this one, Mario Kart 8. I will be doing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, simply because all of the tracks are on that version, and I just don't have a copy of the Wii U version to hand. But the tracks themselves haven't really changed between versions, so there's no real loss by not doing the Wii U version. Mario Kart 8 is going to take a while to get through. The Wii U base game Nitros and Retros I will do basically the same as I've done for DS, Wii, and 7. Do a Nitro video, then do a Retro video. But then on top of that, we have the Wii U DLC tracks, which will probably be one video. And then there's the Booster Course Pass, and I've not quite decided how I'm going to split that up yet, but that's going to be at least 2 videos, maybe 3. Yeah, Mario Kart 8 is going to take a while to get through, but I'm looking forward to it because as much as I've just been saying that it shouldn't overshadow Mario Kart 7, it is just straight up the best Mario Kart game, and there's a reason why, despite it being here for 10 years, it really doesn't feel like it's overstayed its welcome to me. Like, I am excited to get a new Mario Kart, but I have enjoyed my last 10 years with Mario Kart 8, and somehow in its own video, I've started rambling about Mario Kart 8 instead of Mario Kart 7. Sorry, Mario Kart 7. You are a great game. You carried me through my teenage years. You gave me a lot of fun memories, so thank you for that. And I hope people remember you more, and I'm glad that some of your really great tracks are coming back in Mario Kart World. Anyway, that'll do it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I'll see you next time with the first of many Mario Kart 8 Deluxe track videos. Bye!